Thank you so much for coming out tonight. And for a real treat, a really big shoe. A fingerstyle guitarist, virtuoso, Thomas P. Radcliffe. Put your hands together.
British Columbia. Her name is Thea. We connected on Thanksgiving Day of 2007 in Vancouver. She's named after my eldest granddaughter. I was very proud to have a guitar. Do we have a lot of musicians in the house? I know I can see some, quite a few actually. So this next piece, actually when I wrote this, it caused me to go back to school to study music because I thought I either don't know what I'm doing or I'm pretty good at this. I went back to school and played this piece for faculty members to try to find out what the time signature was. And nobody could figure it out. So I had to actually study to be able to figure it out. But it's in 4 + 5 + 4 over 4 in the A section, and then it repeats. And then it goes to 4/4, but it's in 2/3 time when it goes to 4/4. It's very happy music written in the sunny laneway between 15th and 16th Avenue in downtown Vancouver in the summer of 1994. It's just called Eine Kleine, a little. And I'll let you figure out a little what. happy and full and rich. I'm going to trade in Thea for a friend of mine from Spain. She won't mind. She doesn't get jealous. She doesn't do that much work. This young lady's name is Destina, which I guess is Italian and Spanish for destiny. It's a Spanish instrument, and this is made in Spain. It's called a laúd, L-A-U with the accent D. It migrated across the Straits of Gibraltar in the first quarter of the 14th century following the oud or oud in Morocco, which is an instrument that doesn't have frets. This had frets. It has 12 strings, and it's in the mandolin family, not the guitar family. It's played in Spain as a classical guitar with lots of strings on it, and played in Cuba in popular music, and the Philippines in folk ensembles. And then I have mine tuned to, I'm going to say, open C sharp. It's either C or C sharp. I don't know. It's freshly strung today. And in my hands, it's none of those things. It's more like a mandolin, banjo, guitar. But it has lots of beautiful songs in it. Here's a piece that was premiered in Vienna on May the 4th, 1827. Of course, there was a full orchestra and a chorus doing it. But, this is one of the happiest pieces of music ever, I think, and I'm happy that Destina likes it enough to share it with all of us. I think when Beethoven wrote that, he borrowed that's the Ode to Joy from Chorale from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and he borrowed the libretto from Schiller, but he changed some of the words, and the beauty of that song is it's about brotherhood and believing in a higher something, a higher consciousness, a higher power, and how can anybody not recognize that? And I think if everybody heard that song and didn't think, they would realize that that is definitely is a miracle to be alive on this wonderful, beautiful place that we have here. So from one great folk songwriter to another, this is Beethoven to Bob Dylan. There's about a 140-year gap. Bob Dylan won a Pulitzer Prize year before last for the body of the content of the lyrics of his songs. He's considered to be an outstanding author. I won't argue with that. And by all means, if there's anybody in this room who doesn't know this song, the person next to you does. So just look at them and they'll know the words. You're all welcome to sing along. My tempo's a little bit different than normal on this, but let's fill the room with some joy here. before it's washed to the sea. How many years must the people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times must a man turn his head, pretending he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing away. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times can a man look up before he sees the sky? And how many years must one man have before he needs to cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows? Too many people have died. Okay, you're on your own here. Yes, sir, my friend, it's blowing away. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Apologize for turning my background. I can play Ode to Joy and talk and walk backwards. I'm not sure if I talk backwards, but I know I can walk backwards and play Ode to Joy, but I don't know that I could go up those steps. Let's bring out some of the other, all these instruments here. This is my family here. They're all girls. I didn't decide that. They did. This is Sadie. Sadie's an American guitar made in China. This guitar was bought. I'll play the other guitar later, but this guitar was bought because the neck of one of my guitars wasn't wide enough for me to be able to play in this tuning. Because all these guitars, they're all tuned differently. I think here we're in probably an open D or open C sharp. But I do a lot of hammering on and pulling off, which the neck of the other guitar wasn't wide enough, so I shopped and found a guitar with a wider neck, and Sadie came along and has a couple of really nice songs to share with you. And this is called Marigold Summer. marigolds in the summertime, and I guess that was 2 summers ago that I planted packets full of marigolds, and I didn't know that there were marigolds that got this tall. There are different types of marigolds, and there's some that get almost 3 feet tall with a stalk that's as thick as my index finger. And one of my neighbors said, "You know why those plants are so big? It's because you play the guitar for them." I have 3 instruments up here that are double course, so each string has 2, and the deer really like those. They like the extra strings. This song is a work in progress, and it's not something that I feel like I'm supposed to sit down and tell it what to say. I'm real happy with what's there so far. And if you pay attention and you have children at home, I think there's some good pointers in the song. When you wake up in the morning and get out of your bed, looking forward to the day that lies ahead, sometimes without warning, angry thoughts can fill your head. Before you know it, you just might be seeing red. It may not be easy, but all you have to do is love. All you have to do is love. Driving your car or riding on a bus, no matter where you are, some people make a fuss. We can't let that do us harm or get the best of us. Not sure just who to trust. Just take it easy. All you have to do is love. All you have to do is love. No matter what's been said to you, whatever might be done, there's something that can see you through and help you overcome. Take it easy. All you gotta do is love. Just take it easy. All you gotta do is love. Love is all that has worth. Love is heaven on earth. Love is heaven on earth. Now, there are some people in this room who knew my mother, and hearing me sing those words, you know that I'm her son. Thanks, Mom. So let's see who's next here. This is Bella. Bella's named after my number 2 granddaughter, who lives in Toronto. And I saw this guitar, and Bella's cute as a button, and she's 6 now. From the time that she was an infant, Bella realized, I think with a lot of coaching from her father and enabling from her mother, that she's a princess. And and she dresses and acts accordingly. And when she was small, she was stout and a little stocky. And this is a baby jumbo guitar. Now that pretty much is an oxymoron. It's a short body with a bigger bell. And it's quite ornate, you know, it's a beautiful top. It's a cedar top instead of a spruce top like my other guitars here have. Bella's excited to have a guitar named after her. And this is the guitar that I couldn't play Marigold Summer on. So I thought, what am I going to do with this guitar? Bella doesn't have songs now because somebody else has them. So I restrung the guitar with the high strings of a 12-string set. So it's very, very thin strings, and it's not an order of a 6-string guitar because the highest string on a 12-string set is the octave string on the 3rd string. So it's and I, you know, I play in open tunings. This is in an open G with a capo on the 5th fret means open. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, it's open G, so it's open D. I think this song is in D, and this is a new song that is still manifesting itself. It's called. Yeah, my math is bad sometimes. Just the lights. This is called Sun Drops, and I spend time outdoors with the guitars, and we have a beautiful deck, and I stand out there and play in the sunlight, and this song was just, you know, telling me to shut up and pay attention, and this was sitting there, so we'll see how it goes. She has new strings today. Almost everybody here has new strings today. 5 out of the 7 instruments have fresh strings, just for you. And you know, it's a funny thing because it's a very loving process to change strings on a guitar. It's something, I guess if you're a car guy and you really love your car, you know, doing a tune-up. But there's so much of a reward that comes back out of these instruments when they, all this wonderful wood, when they have bright, fresh strings on, sound awesome. And this is another, I'm going to say folk city song from 1964, and written, you know, sung in a basement in downtown New York. And Pam, I know you'll enjoy this, so I'm glad you're here to sing it. It's interesting. This I have a brother who's quite a bit older than I am, and he and his wife used to love this kind of music. And you know, I was listening to the Beatles in 1964, not to Tom Paxton. And Christmas of 1993, I think it was, my son, who was probably about 15 at the time, didn't have a lot of money to spend on Christmas. So he went to Value Village in downtown Vancouver and found a Tom Paxton songbook for $1. And it had this song in it, and it took me 20 years before Bella wanted to play in this tuning. So. It's a lesson too late for learning, made of sand, in a wink that my soul is turning in your hand, Oh, you're going away with no word of farewell, there'll be not a trace left behind. I couldn't love you better, I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You've got reasons aplenty for going. This I know. For the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go. Oh, you're going away with no word of farewell. There'll be no trace left behind. I could love you better, I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. As we walk, my thoughts are tumbling round and round. Underneath my feet, the subways are rumbling underground. Oh, you're going away with no word of farewell. Will there be no trace left behind? I could love you better. As I lie in bed in the morning without you, every song in my breast a warning without you. Oh, you're going away with no word of farewell, leaving no trace left behind. I could love you. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. I could love you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. I take requests, but only from the guitars. So you know what? Well, Gene, who's named after my mom, is sitting over here going, "What about me? What about me?" It's, I was on the radio 3 times this week, and getting up in the morning and looking around the living room where all my instruments are hanging, and there are more instruments than you see on stage tonight. It's like, well, who's going to the radio station today? So I got up at, I don't know, 6:45, and I just said to the gang, women a gang? I'm not so sure. Who's going to the radio, right? And the first day, Theo went. And the second day, I'm pretty sure Gene went. This is my oldest song, and it wrote itself, I think it was February 1972, at 107 Marion Street in downtown Toronto on the third floor in the living room, just to be real. And I had a friend who was doing some recording of me, and he needed to take a break. And some of you have heard this before, but it's my favorite story about my life. So he needed to take a break from recording, and he had a big St. Bernard there, and it was wintertime. And I thought, well, he's either got to go to the bathroom, take the dog for a walk, or he and my girlfriend are going to go fool around. And I wasn't sure which one it was until about 30 years later. And neither he or the dog needed to relieve themselves, at least not in that sense. But I said, leave the tape recorder on because I have this idea for the song. And I just sang the chorus of the song with the chords, just built in. Here it is. It's gone through quite a few incarnations since then. The intro was written in the basement of a Cornerstone Cafe in downtown Victoria, BC. I was filling in for somebody doing a gig who couldn't get across the border into Canada. So they called me at the last minute and said, can you come and play my guitar? Thea was in the shop. And the guy said, oh, it's fine, I'll bring you my guitar. And he had a nice guitar. He didn't show up. So I went down the basement of this coffee house, and there's a $59.95 guitar sitting in the corner with old beat up rusty strings on it, covered in dust. I went and got a washcloth and cleaned it off, and this intro for I Believe in Love was sitting in that guitar. And then the middle part of it I wrote on stage at the Mine Shaft Tavern in Madrid, New Mexico, about 5 years ago. And this is my favorite song that anybody ever wrote. It's called I Believe in Love. I didn't write that song. I just happened to sing it out loud because it just kind of passed through me. So you can infer to that where you think that song came from. It's Jean's named after my mother and my oldest daughter and my youngest granddaughter. All have my mom's name. It sure is a treat to get to be on a stage with lights and good sound and have people being, I guess you're like my victims in some way. I've been in Ruidoso for 5.5 years, and I've found so much music here. It's been awesome. Almost everything pretty much everything I played had a part here. A couple of songs were written elsewhere, but everything, music keeps evolving. When I switch instruments, I have to switch thumb picks, which is their different lengths and thicknesses. And this is Kara, named after my youngest child. It's a 10-string Puerto Rican cuatro. Now, why a 10-string instrument is called a cuatro is because it's tuned in fourths. And this would be B. It's like a guitar. The bottom 4 strings of a guitar with a B stuck underneath it, so it's B, E, A, D, G. Except mine's tuned down a half step, so it's B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. It's a mighty hard road, these poor hands of hold. Poor feet have traveled a hot dusty road. Out of your dust bowl and westward we roll. Your desert was hot and your mountains were cold. I wandered all over this green growing land. Wherever your crops are, I lent you my hand. On the edge of your city, you've seen us, and then we come with the dust, and we're gone with the wind. California, Arizona, I worked all your crops. Then it's northward up to Oregon to gather your hops. Dig the beach from your ground, cut the grapes from your vine, to lay on your table that light sparkling wine. It's always we ramble that river and I, all along your green valley work till I die. This land I'll defend with my life if it be, 'cause my pastures are plenty, my soul always be free. Green pastures are plenty from dry desert ground, from the Grand Coulee Dam where the waters run down. Every state in this union, us migrants have been. We come with the dust and we're gone with the wind. It's a mighty hard road. For those of you who didn't know, that's a Woody Guthrie song, written in the 30s when the Okies had to migrate from the Dust Bowl to California and run into not being able to find work. 40 years ago, coming up shortly, and I'm going on a 40th anniversary 100-day tour at some point this summer. It's still materializing. 40 years ago, I went on a 100-day honeymoon in my Volkswagen van, 10,000 miles around Canada on $1,000 in 100 days. And I actually came home with $560 in the bank because I took some work picking peaches and pears and apples just to be outside and fresh air and, you know, camp on a farm and get free produce and fresh eggs and milk. So the person who spent that 100 days with me is no longer with me. She's in Toronto and is a great grandmother, was an awesome mother to her children. She won't be along, but I'll have 8 of my friends with me, so I don't know if they'll make up for her or not. It'll be different. This is the only rock cover that I know, and it's such a great environmental song. It belongs here tonight, so. She came from Providence, the one in Rhode Island, where the old wood shadows hang heavy in the air. She packed her hopes and dreams like a refugee, like her father came across the sea. She heard about a place where people were smiling, spoke about the red man's ways and how they loved the land. They came from everywhere through the great divide, seeking a place to stand or a place to hide. Down in a crowded bars, out for a good time. Can't wait to tell you all what it's like up there. They call it paradise, I don't know why. Somebody laid the mountains low while the town got high. Then the chilly winds blew down across the desert, through the canyons of the coast, to the Malibu, where the pretty people played, hungry for power, to light their neon ways and give them things to do. Some rich men came and raped the land, and nobody caught them. Put up a a bunch of ugly boxes, and Jesus, people bought them. They all called it paradise, the place to be. They watched the hazy sun sinking in the sea. You can leave it all behind and sail to Lina, like the missionaries did so many years ago. They even brought a neon sign that said, Jesus is coming. They brought the white man's burden down, brought the white man's rain. Who will provide? Who will provide the grand design for what is yours and what is mine? There is no more new frontier, and we have got to make it here. We satisfy our endless need as we justify our bloody deeds. In the name of destiny, in the name of God. And you can see them there on Sunday morning. Stand up and sing about what it's like up there. They call it paradise, I don't know why. 'Cause someplace paradise, you can kiss it goodbye. I know that's heavy. This is Olivia, and Olivia is a small-bodied 12-string guitar with a shorter scale. I had this idea that I wanted a small-bodied 12-string guitar with a shorter scale a few years ago, and Googled and Googled and Googled and Googled, and that's hard to say with dancers. Googled 4 times until I finally found one, and nobody had them in any stores. I looked in different cities, San Antonio, Santa Fe, and finally got my friend Trad Tidwell here to order it through Cool Pines Music Sight Unseen, and because I had some ideas of what was going to happen with it. And I started playing the guitar fingerstyle open tunings because of Leo Kottke. And if you don't know who Leo Kottke is, for a long time he was considered the greatest folk guitarist on earth. He's lost that mantle to other people, but he's an amazing guy. And this song is called Leo's Child. Republic. She hasn't been out a lot. And a 12-string is next to impossible to tune. I was playing the Laoud show in San Antonio on Labor Day weekend a couple of years ago. It's like 106 degrees outside in San Antonio on Labor Day. I was doing a Habitat for Humanity benefit in a little bitty place where 32 people came and they all donated $1. So it was kind of anticlimactic, except we had fun. But the PA system, they didn't have air conditioning in this room, and there were 12 overhead ceiling fans going, not in unison, like just, so it was just made me dizzy trying to play the guitar and sing with the voice coming through that. It was like being, I guess in a scene in Apocalypse Now, you know, when the helicopters were coming in. So anyway, I took the Laoud down and I just walked around the audience and played without having the PA on. And some young fella said, "How long does it take to tune that thing?" And I said, "Let's see, it's September. I've had it for about 1.5 years. I don't know yet." And that's the 12. The 12 string is kind of the same way.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander. We caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round. Painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return. We can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in a circle game. Childhood, now we're 10 times round the season. We're skating over 10 clear frozen streams. You tell him, take your time, it won't be long now before you drag your feet to slow those circles down. 16 springs and 16 summer's gone now, and cartwheels and cartwheels through the town. Where you drag your feet to slow those circles down, and the seasons, they go round and round. Painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in a circle game. The childhood dream tomorrow now is 20. Those dreams have lost some grandeur coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams than plenty. Before the last falling year is through. sound of time. We can return, we can only look behind from when we came, and go round and round in a circle again.
Some of you have heard this story already, but I got a phone call a couple of weeks ago, and it was somebody that I went to elementary school with saying, "Oh, we're having our 50th graduation reunion. Would you like to come?" I thought, God, did we graduate from 8th grade 50 years ago? I don't think we noticed. I mean, it was not. You didn't have a cap and gown and and pomp and circumstance and go for a party in a limousine after you graduated from 8th grade in 1964. I started performing and when I was in 8th grade, the fall of 1963, before the Kennedy assassination. I grew up Catholic, and we had fish fries on the first Friday of every month, and all the church hall would be packed with 500 people eating fish. So I said to myself, boy, wouldn't they like to hear me play the violin? And they liked it. I played the violin, and my girlfriend, who had a twin sister, sang, and her twin sister sang, and we do duets and trios. And I had a buddy who played the piano. We did mostly show tunes, Fascination and On the Street Where You Live. Anyway, I wrote a song a few years ago visiting my daughter in Toronto, which harkens back to that part of my life. And part of it will wake you up. After all this time and tears, who'd have ever thought I'd think of you? All we did was smile for years, never worried what we would do. And after all the miles and all these years and all that we've been through, it's as if nothing has come between us. No, nothing has come between us. But time, wasn't it just yesterday that all the world seemed young, alive, and free? We laughed the hours away, never worried what we would be. And all the generations sang of peace, love, and harmony. We sang nothing would come between us. No, nothing would come between us. But love. For every step I've taken since creation, washed away in the sand. For every word ever spoken in conversation, its meaning just washed away. you guys need to sing some more, because I can tell that you're getting either comatose or restless or restless. Comatose and restless. All right, well that's certainly that mind's working. That's good. Reminds me that I'm going to use it for this. I'm a child of the 60s. Actually, I'm a child of my mother. I would have been me no matter when I was born. You know, and I think we all have such great gifts that our parents gave us. I had the great fortune of taking care of my mom when she was terminally ill, and we spent hour after hour after hour just hanging out, you know. And at 2:30 in the morning, right after I finally went to sleep after an 18 or 20-hour day, she'd buzz me in the intercom and say, "Tom, can you grab a guitar and bring some milk and cookies and play something for me?" My mother gave me permission to be a loving, kind, compassionate human being, and as much as my father fought that my whole life, I want to thank both of them for me being who I am. But this is for my mom. My mom's dad was from Sweden, and he moved to America in 1909 because he could see the storm clouds on the horizon, and he wasn't about to go fight wars for kings, as he put it. Last night I had the strangest dream that I'd ever dreamed before. When I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room, and that room was filled with men. And the papers they were signing said that they would never fight again. Last night I had the strangest dream that I'd ever dreamed before. When I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. And when those papers were all signed and 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads and grateful prayers prayed. Last night I had the strangest dream that I'd ever dreamed before. When I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. The people in the streets below were dancing round and round, and guns and swords and uniforms were scattered on the ground. They were all singing, "Last night I had the strangest dream that I'd ever dreamed before. When I dreamed the world had all agreed to put against the war. Last night I had the strangest dream that I'd ever dreamed before. When I dreamed the world had all agreed had way too many songs to play for 70 minutes.